Welcome to Cryptic Guitars, welcome to my home studio, and welcome to the second episode. In the first episode, I went a little bit insane with the finish. I did not use temperature to shock the finish to create this checking result. I used a sculptor blade. I probably went a little bit overboard. I was putting a little bit more pressure on at the beginning, having never done it before. But the result is a guitar that looks, it's very, very even checking. What I'm doing in this episode is putting the whole thing back together again. I'm going to take the pickup covers off. I'm going to take all of the chrome hardware and I'm going to age that using a couple of chemicals, one of which is white vinegar from your kitchen and the other is ferrous chloride acid. Burn it. Perfect! This instrument is, if you are watching this video in the first couple of weeks after it launches, this guitar could be yours. It is available via raffle in order to support Dorset Guitar Museum, which is my new insanity. I needed a way to fund that, and this is by raffling off instruments and by setting up dailyguitarraffle.com. So that will be coming up soon. This one will be one of the last guitars raffled on the Legacy program while we set up Daily Guitar Raffle. I do think that's underneath the lacquer, actually. Well, there we go. Pickups, all looks good. I'm going to have to break those seals and take the covers off. LPNS TDP, and it's a Lead Pro. Yeah, if anybody knows what that means, let me know. So for this job, I have actually gone and bought a new solder station because the crappy little soldering iron I've been using here is just not meaty enough. Obviously, I don't particularly mind about dents and things. You want to stop the wires that are wrapped around the coil. You want to stop the coils from interacting and vibrating against each other because that creates feedback. So you pot it with wax or with epoxy or something like that, and that solidifies the whole thing. In this case, the wax potting has also stuck the cover to the pickup a little bit. So I am going to have to warm things up just a tad. I'm just loosening things up just enough around the cover so that I can take it off. It's not plugged in, is it? I'm being careful to blow away from the guitar itself. There we go. Off we go. There we go. So any wax that was actually in that pickup is still in the pickup. It hasn't all flowed out. It's still doing the job, and it cures pretty much immediately. So we're all good. Personally, I prefer the sound of unpotted pickups in any case. Fight me in the comments! Haha! I actually did whittle wax on the guitar, but not much of it. I love artificially not caring about what happens because it all just adds to the story of the guitar. Strange feeling. Very, very strange feeling. Here's the rest of the hardware, and I picked up some back plates as well. Okay, next up, I've got some white vinegar here. I don't have very much of this left. float those. It's the fumes I'm after. One slight problem. I'm supposed to be creating a fume chamber, and I can smell this vinegar. And if I look closer at this box, it isn't actually entirely airtight, so it's going to take longer to do. I'm going to see if I can find another box to put this all in. So the vinegar has essentially not really touched the chrome, and that's pretty much what I expected. Doing this with a chemical method is just far too hit and miss. We don't like hit and miss. We want to get exactly what we want to get, which is why I ended up using a scalpel blade. Fight me in the comments whether you think that what I did on the finish is right or not, but it was at least the effect that I was going for. I think that with abrasives and polishing wheels and then a little bit of acid, I can age this hardware in a way that is getting close to what it would look like. Come on then, let's play. Bridge pickup, neck. Now what we're after is a shiny area underneath the strings for the most part. Going through the Beauty of the Burst book, that's the kind of look that I'm after. And then matte in between. And it is also more prevalent on the bridge pickup. So what I'm going to do is scratch these up, buff them up, and manually try and get that aging before we paint some acid on. So these are some really cool 3M brushes, and they're used by jewelers and the like. Not quite coarse enough. Okay, and now I'm going in and I'm going to start polishing up the areas in the middle. So this is the untouched, although obviously played, neck. And this is a gently messed around with bridge. So off camera, I'm going to go and continue playing around with various bits and pieces. You don't need to watch me standing at a lathe or a buffing wheel buffing stuff, and we'll come back to paint on some ferric chloride. I don't want my abrasive marks to be too uniform, which is why I was going sort of all over the shop. This is part way through the process, and it's actually not looking too bad. It's difficult to film, of course. This is a late 60s, 70s bit of hardware, and you've got actual scratches throughout. This is really, really difficult to show. There you go. Fine scratches all the way across this whole thing. And we don't have that yet here. Just very, very gently. Okay, I'm going a little bit more gentle on the pickup cover. We do still want that, the effect of stuff hitting it, but not to the same extent. So 40% ferrochloride. This is an etchant for circuit boards and things like that. It is not particularly pleasant stuff. It's also not that bad. My favorite little screw. So you see how that likes pooling in not necessarily natural looking clumps. There's a trick. So if you use some tissue paper or something like that, that will hold it where you want. The problem is that can actually leave the pattern that's on the paper, which you don't necessarily want. Question of layers and layers and layers and layers. Fairly heavy aging on the pickup covers, and yeah, I enjoy adding fire in. I'm working off this Paul. You're not going to be able to see that, but it's got a very similar texture on the pickup covers to that. And the tuners I've left with just the polishing, etc. You're not sweating on your tuners in the same way that you are the tailpiece and the bridge, etc. I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. It's time to it's time to put it back together again. Suppose I'm trapped in the workshop. Can I pretend that I'm trapped in the workshop because it's raining? Yeah. Yeah, let's. I do agree. I think I've slightly overcooked. Or, well, you know, the whole thing. But still, it's fun. I don't know. Let me know what you would have done differently. I do this still more to go, of course. I need to do the frets, etc. But yeah, I'm aware that by this point in the video, I'm getting shouted at rather a lot, or not. I don't know. This is my first proper attempt at something like this in this way. So teach me. Overall, I am loving it. Okay, and here are the original control knobs. We'll put them back on. That rain's really coming down now. They kind of look out of place. Some really heavy playing on this. Files are one of those tools where you 100% get what you pay for. I have got files that retail at more than 100 quid, and it is insane. We have just released a new premium traditional fret crowning file at crimsonguitars.com. You've got to check them out. There's two. There's the standard file. These are Velour, they make just the best files in the business, basically. Velour that we've then taken and customized and made for fret crowning. But this is the exciting one. It's a finishing crowning file. This puppy reduces the sanding almost entirely. Very cool. Advert over. On with the, you know, thing and the stuff and the nonsense and the... I swear, using the two files in that manner has just saved me probably half an hour of sanding. The very worst part of fret crowning, and the reason why I avoided it as much as humanly possible over the years is, well, it's now gone. Woohoo. It's almost impossible to film shiny things. Damn it. Seriously, check this out. I've done no sanding. I've got a single piece of 800 grit, and I would normally start at 600, wrapped around a fret rubber. And the only reason I'm actually doing this is just to round over the top a little bit and just make it a little bit more comfortable on the boards with your fingers. That's all I need. Medium fret rubber on the frets, and I'm using that to clean up all that crap off the fretboard. Now I could I could stop here at the superfine, spend a little bit more time and get fairly good results, but I'm gonna put masking tape all over and buff on the machine just to get the absolute best frets possible. Stretch the strings, tune it, and still more to do. I did buy some just flat black plastic ones to put on here. At this point, I've decided just to leave this. Last thing is, this is just a little bit too shiny and new. The older ones actually developed a sort of a sunburst and were yellow, and in fact this is a different color to the pickup surrounds. It's a different material. What the hell? Quality control, Gibson. Yellow stunning stains, spirit based stain from Crimson Guitars, and isopropyl alcohol to wash it off. I'm not 100% convinced about this, but yeah, for now I think I'm going to leave it on here and let it percolate. In the comments, tell me what you would do on this scratch plate, and then maybe the winner and I can work on a reprise. I was tempted to go in and burn the plastic inlays and make them shrink a little bit so that they looked particularly old. But how far is too far? How far is far enough? Have I hit that? How far is too far? What is the actual goal here? I don't know. I am too deep in this guitar at this point. Let me know what you would do about the rest of the hardware, and we'll go from there. Too clean. Yeah. I like that. I honestly don't think that a job like this is ever finished. And I'm feeling like I could spend another week working on this. But hold on. I'm not gonna. Okay, I just had a cup of coffee and some lunch. And coming back to this, I actually think I'm in love. There are some bits and pieces, of course. Those are still too new. But in general, I'm really happy. Oh, need some switch cleaner in there. So we're currently going through the lapel mic. You know what a Les Paul sounds like. It's cool. It is what it is. Jazz 2? Jazz 3! Woohoo! Forgive me. I get excited when I'm playing a guitar for the first time after it's been redone. This is an incredibly comfortable guitar. You know the sorts of sounds that you can get out of Les Pauls. We've been listening to them our entire lives, and I 100% don't do it justice. The setup is slinky as all hell. The neck, we've got all of this relicking, aging. We call it heavy aging now, don't we? It feels absolutely fine to play. I had not realized it was there until I thought, ooh, isn't there something I'm supposed to be checking here? This is a delicious guitar. That's that. It's a delicious guitar. She could be yours. Check out the raffle. I'm going to turn the camera off and, yeah, turn this up a bit and see you later. Goodbye.